Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, please give me a thumbie. They are free. So if you can hear clicking of buttons in the background, that is because Max is just over there playing computer games with his friends, but he has assured me that he won't talk to them until I am done filming, because he is a good boy like that. Anyway, I have jumped on here today. Now, I have a huge confession to make, guys. I am rapidly getting to the point where I am struggling to think of daily content that is interesting enough for you. So if today's video is not what you were expecting or not something that is of interest to you, I totally understand. No hard feelings. It is crochet related. It's just not yarn. And I am digging at the bottom of the barrel, guys, because I have made this huge target of doing daily videos and I just can't get enough done, and yeah, it's hard. So if you've got any ideas of what you would like to see, please put them down in the comments because I'm struggling to come up with ideas. Anyway, let's just go with it today and I won't keep you for very long. But I thought it might be interesting to show you how I kind of organise myself with my projects, how I keep a record of it, and how it came about. So as you know, I started this channel a little over a year ago, getting on for a year and a half. And for the first year of this YouTube journey of mine, I didn't really keep a record or a log of all the things that I was doing because in my mind, I have videos. I have all the videos on my channel which catalogues everything that we have been up to, and that will continue for as long as the channel does, which is fine. If, however, the channel goes down, I have lost all that information. So I last year put this on my wish list. It says, I never dreamed I'd grow up to become a sexy crocheting lady, but here I am killing it. And it was a tongue-in-cheek, jokey kind of thing that I put on my wish list. And I only ever did my wish list because some of you guys requested that I did, because I don't have my address on my channel and I don't have a PO box. So when you guys wanted to happy mail me, you had no options. So I did the wish list to kind of give you guys that option. Now, as you know, I do not ask for happy mail. I do not expect happy mail. It is a happy bonus when it comes, and it is appreciated more than you ever can know. But you really, really, really don't have to. Like I said, I only did the wish list because it was requested. Anyway, this was on my wish list, and one of my dear, dear friends did buy it for me in happy mail. And I thought, when I had the thought of I'm not recording everything that I'm doing other than my videos, I made the decision that starting this year in January, I was going to start logging and recording all the things that I make. So like I say, if my channel ever gets taken down or, you know, anything happens to it, I still have a physical record of everything that I have made or that I am working on. And I know a lot of other content creators use these. And we have been gifted a couple new ones, which are down here ready when this one is filled up. So I have a couple more of these waiting in the wings for when this one is full. And I'm telling you guys, this is filling up super quick. So on the back, it gives you an overview of how the pages are set out inside. And I will go into a little bit more detail in just a moment. These I have found, or this I have found, is a really good way of not only recording everything that I'm making and working on, but keeping myself accountable. The first couple of projects that I put in here are projects that I carried over from last year, and they're still not done. Oopsie. And everything that I have been making and completing since. And I will be keeping up with this for the foreseeable in my future, because I really, really think this is a really, really good way of, like I said, holding yourself accountable and having a record of everything that you have been up to. And it is really simple and easy to use. Now in the front, this is the first page. It says Crochet Project Planner, this book belongs to, and I put Manfa's Makes and the year 2023 because I started this in January. The next few pages are an index, and that is where you can put information about the projects that come further in the book. But what I have done, let me just check that there's nothing here that you don't know about. I'll just do this. I have put FO next to index. So I am making a list of all the ones that I have completed. And then another YouTube friend of mine who does this as well. She doesn't have one of these books, but she has a little notebook. What she does is when she puts her projects in her notebook, when she has completed them, she turns down the corner of the page to know that that one's finished with. So as you can see, there are quite a few corners there turned down, but there are still a few that are sticking up that I'm still working on. So at a glance, I can see that there are some done and some that I am still working on. And I thought that was a nifty little trick. So far this year, I have completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 projects. And I know for a fact that it will be 22 by the end of this week because I am hoping to get my luck of the draw done, which I will add. And then I have just listed them. And it's the name of the project, who it is for, and the project number, and then you list them. So some of the things I have done already is Mr. Bean's Teddy, and I did that for Amigurumi Wars. The Rabbit Snuggle Toy, which is this one up here, that was for Amigurumi Wars. I did the Feelin' Fancy Shawl that I gifted in Happy Mail. I did the Kawaii Crochet Heart for Amigurumi Wars, which has been gifted on. The bunny rabbit with the carrot was for Amigurumi Wars. Susan the snail, she's up there. You can't really see her up there next to the flamingo. That was for Amigurumi Wars. Bram the bee next to her, that little rainbow guy, he was for Amigurumi Wars. The Celtic cable throw that was gifted on. 2 flamingos, 2 Victor flamingos, they have been completed. Charlie the Kitten, which I did for Amigurumi Wars, and Pick My Whip. Hendrik the Owl Lovey, which is this one here behind Flemmy's leg, just because I wanted to. The Sunshine and Rainbow Shrug, which I sometimes wear on the channel. The Snake Plant, which I did for Moo's Flower Power Cal and Amigurumi Wars. The Wiggly Crochet Trivet, which is in my kitchen that I use as a hot pad. The Tea Rose Spa set that I gifted to my mum for her birthday. The little Temu Dinosaur Crochet Kit, that was for Amigurumi Wars. And to review the Temu Crochet Kit. The top, the Bag a Day top that I did for Tanks and Teas 2023. Sam the Sunflower, the little thread man that I made. That was for Moo's Flower Power Cal. Rosy Posy Cup Coaster, which is here. That one's done. The Secret Amigurumi, and I nearly said the name of the pattern and I can't do that yet. That is done and it's on the list. And then Litza over at Coco's Crochets Crochet Along, that one is done and I will show you that on Friday, and that is for my dog Rolo. And then, like I said, by the end of the week, there's 22nd completed project of the year will be Luck of the Draw 7, and I will show you that on Friday. So yes, and I have lots more spaces to fill in, which is absolutely fabulous. Now, I can show you this one because it's not completed yet, and it's a carryover from last year. So at the top, you have got the project number and you put the number next to it. So the first one that I put in here was my fruit salad square blanket. That I am still working on. It's still a work in progress, and that is what I work on when we do our crochet and chats. I don't know who it's for. It's just something that I wanted to make. I started that back in August 2022 and I still haven't finished it, guys. The pattern, I just did single crochet squares. The design source was none. It was my own idea. It's not a pattern, it's just how I wanted to use the yarn. And then the yarn that you're using, so I've put the Premier Sweet Roll Fruits and the Stylecraft Special Aran with Wool for the border and joining. Then you can put the colour and dye lot. So here I've put the squares. I used 2 rolls of lime, 2 rolls of banana, 2 of blueberry, 2 of plum, 2 of guava, 2 of dragon fruit, 2 of watermelon, 2 of pink grapefruit, and the border is the Stylecraft Special Aran with Wool in the colour Peat. And I am using here in hook size the 4mm clover. It then has a section here for you to note down gauge, if there is a gauge that you need to do, or if you did a swatch, and any notes you need to make on the project that you may find handy or need to jot down. So that is an overview of the information you give. And then on the other page, you have got the option to put a sample of what you've made, maybe the swatch that you did, the yarn band label, you can put that in there, and then you can either do a sketch of the project you're making or take a photo of it. Now I haven't filled these in because I'm keeping my yarn bands to tot up how much yardage and how many ball bands I've used in the year, so they're kept separate. And then I'm no good at sketching, guys, I won't be drawing. And photos, I do not have one of the small little cameras to print photos of my projects, but I do post it on Instagram. And then I very rarely gauge swatch. I'm really bad about that. A lot of people swear by it, a lot of people insist that you should, but Manfa breaks the rules when it comes to that. And then another example is the Mama Killer doily. I was making it for me for Halloween decor. I started it October 2022 and I still haven't finished it. It's in a whip bag. It is now a UFO. The pattern was Mama Killer. I had no design source. The yarn that I was using is the Yarn Bee Rapology Hues, and the colour is in High Alert, and I'm using my 3.5mm clover. So these pages aren't turned down because they are not finished, but I will find one that is. Let's have a look. So the one I finished this week, it was project number 5. It's Coco's Crochet Cowl, the Stitch Sampler Blanket. And I will fill in Rolo's name there because to begin with I didn't know who I was making it for. I started it on the 9th of January this year and I finished it yesterday on the, because I'm filming this the day before, guys. I finished it on the 18th of June, Father's Day this year. The pattern was the Crochet Along Stitch Sampler Blanket. The design source was Litza at Coco's Crochet because it was her that put it together. The yarn was scrap DK yarn from my yarn bin, my scrap bin. Colours, well, various because it is a scrappy project. And I used a 5mm clover for the whole thing. And now I have turned over the corner because that one is now complete. Now, I don't know how many projects I can get up to in this book because although I've got 21 so far done, nearly 22, I have got 28 written in the book, and I don't know whether I numbered them. Oh, I did. I numbered them all the way to the end. So I can have a total of 48 projects in this book, and I have nearly done 22. So I am over halfway of filling this book already. And out of 28 projects in here, I have nearly completed 22. So I'm not doing too shabby, I don't think. So I highly recommend that if you want to keep yourself accountable or you want to be a bit more organised with the things that you are making, whether it be for your YouTube channel or just a record just for your own personal information, then I do highly recommend getting something similar to this, or even doing what other people do and have a specific notebook where you jot down all the details and you keep a record of it, because The times I have put my project away in its project bag and I have forgotten what size hook I was using, this takes that stress away because I fill in the details as soon as I start the project. So if I have to walk away from it or put it in timeout, when I go to get it back out, I know all the details I need about the project, what hook I was using, what yarn I was using, what pattern it is, what stitch, for example, any of that. It is all contained in this one book. There's not bits of paper everywhere. There's not pattern books with post-it notes all in them. It is all contained in this one handy dandy book. And you don't need one of these cheeky little, you know, quirky specific books. It can be any notebook, guys. But I really do, well, I don't insist, but I do recommend that if you are struggling to keep on top of your WIPs, to know all the information about the projects that you've got going on, then set yourself up with something similar to this, where in one place you have all the information you need about everything that's on your hook or needles at the moment. So I don't know if this video was of any interest or of any help, but I just thought it might be nice to share with you how I keep myself accountable and how I keep myself a little bit organised. I do plan next year to take it a step further and actually have a planner that's more like a journal or a diary, and that will be for scheduling content for the channel. So I will have this for my projects, either finished objects, WIPs or FOs, and I will have another one where I can plan ahead content for the coming weeks, so that I don't find myself in the pickle I'm in now where I don't know what content to bring to you. So by next year, guys, fingers crossed, all being well, I will be even more organised, even more prepared, and even more able to bring you daily content. So that was all I had to share. That's about it for today. Please do come back tomorrow. I again don't know what I'm doing for tomorrow, but I'll think of something. I always do. But until then, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye guys, love you.